Well, good, because we are live.
Hello, everyone. Merry Christmas and Happy Almost New Year.
Yep.
This is the Horror Franchise Frenzy Q&A.
Yes,
Do
it
we have a
is.
cricket noise here?
Yeah. Tumbleweed emoji.
Yeah. I think most people know most people should have a pretty good idea of what they're doing at this point.
I don't think I could have explained it any clearer. So, hey, Dan.
No, I mean, as far as what franchises they're doing. Okay, I don't know what the hell's happening here, but I'm getting pissed.
Hey, Dan, how you doing?
Hey, Dan. Okay, something's going on here. Skip. There we go. Hey, Dan. I figured it out finally. So yeah, we have I don't know if you saw Joe's video, but those are the 60 we are doing. I was pushing for 80, but we're going to settle with 60. And I know Brad's doing it, and he is doing some other types of franchises, ones that we're not doing, which that's pretty cool. Maiden, okay. Who's that?
Dan took some NyQuil, so he might fade away. Not feeling good, Dan?
Yeah, it's that time of the year. Plus, it was his birthday recently, so I think they had a party for him or something. Saw some of the stuff he got.
Nice. Hey, Anthony.
Hey, Anthony, what's up, bud? I think I guessed which one you left on Joe's.
Me too.
Yeah, I think we might be doing that one too. I think. Yeah, I got to redo all this stuff because mine's all messed up now. I got this here, that one there, this one over here.
Don't lose it.
Nah. It ain't going nowhere. It's just not where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I have, for example, The Exorcist up at the top when it should be down on the bottom because that's where all the other movies are.
Mm-hmm.
But I had planned on watching it again. So,
Believer, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, man, that movie just completely blew me away.
Yeah, because it's great. I don't know what people are watching.
It blew me away. It really did. And I thought that the story, you hear enough people ranting about something, and here we go. You hear enough people ranting about something, and this has been going on ever since Halloween Ends. Everyone decided to gang up and put that movie away. But you hear enough about a movie where it kind of, you start thinking in your mind, well, this time there's going to be two little girls, and am I really going to like it and stuff like that? And, I got to get out of that kind of mentality because sometimes and even Joe, you said it yourself, it sometimes makes you not want to watch a movie and you don't discover it until later. And you're like, why haven't I been watching this all along?
Exactly.
So, I don't know.
I don't get it either. I mean, when Exorcist Believer came out, I mean, I saw the trailers and I was like, you know what, this looks pretty awesome. And I'm not a huge Exorcist movie type fan, me, I'm a slasher guy and stuff, and I rather watch other. But it looked really good. Then he started hearing all the people trashing it, but I was like, screw it, I'm gonna watch it anyway as soon as I possibly can. I was like, what's going on here? Like, and then I watched all those reviews, like I said in my short review of it. And it seemed that all the reviewers were saying the same thing that was inaccurate. It seems like they all copied each other's homework, and whoever was the one person to actually do it got the answers wrong. So now they all end up with the wrong answer.
Yeah.
It was one of those types of things.
Thank you, John.
Hey, John, thank you. He plays a mime instead of a clown.
They called him a stooge in the movie. He was the stooge underneath. What was the guy's name? The guy that he played under? Can't think of his name now.
Oh, the
main clown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I can't wait to see what you're doing, Anthony. That'd be cool. But good job for keeping them close to the vest because I want to be surprised. So,
Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see which franchises people do and where these franchises are going to rank. I'm really curious.
yeah, me too. At this point, and I didn't tell you this morning. It was when I talked to you earlier this morning, and then I didn't talk to you for a while. And in that time, I was watching something on television. I was doing my number ones.
Hmm.
I was redoing them again.
Yep.
Um, which I've been working on them a little bit here, a little bit there, and I want to make sure that
Me
they're
too.
at least in the general vicinity that I want them in. So my
Yeah.
bottom 10 or 15 is just right on the money.
Hmm.
My top 10 is pretty much right on the money.
It's that
It's
middle.
just all the in between things that are tough for me.
Hmm.
And
I want to get as accurate as possible because in
yeah,
some cases, just one or two spot difference can make a difference in where that franchise ends up at the end. So,
especially yes, and I'll give an example. Joe and I have watched quite a bit together so far, but the Boogeyman franchise is not a franchise. I'll show my cards a little bit here, but it's not a franchise that I'm especially fond of. There, however, is one or two movies in the franchise that I am fond of.
hmm,
And if they're not placed correctly, it looks like it has no chance at all. So every point that that franchise gets is another point towards either victory or where it places.
yep,
So it's not just about what your favorite franchise is. Now, we've all said this. I know I've talked to Brent a couple times, and he said his favorite franchise is Friday the 13th. I've always said that my favorite franchise is probably either Friday the 13th or Phantasm. I'm kind of leaning towards Phantasm because of the entirety of the films. But this will really tell where those franchises stack up against other franchises. And which one will be my favorite? I don't know. Just depends on where they get placed.
exactly.
Rewatchability, um, how it makes us feel at the time sometimes.
Hmm.
Another example. I was watching A Nightmare on Elm Street today, and I felt I had it a little too low. So I raised it. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
It just depends on the mood because
sometimes, yeah.
it's that's one of those movies for me. The same thing. Sometimes I can watch it and be like, yeah, this is great. It should be higher. And then there might be another time I watch it and I'm like, eh. It's just how it is with certain movies, you know?
There's some cheesy stuff in it, but like there's some stuff that I really enjoyed in it,
Hmm.
and some things that I actually didn't catch until I watched it this time. Like background noises and background
Yeah.
stuff that Freddie says it's really low.
Hmm.
I was like, shit, I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is what it is. And I still laugh every time he pulls the mom through the window at the end
Yeah.
because it's just so goofy looking.
Hmm.
But it's effective, though.
I wouldn't want it differently at this point. I mean, that's just part,
No,
you know,
me neither.
that's just part of it at this point. Yeah, I mean, you know me with with when it comes to my ranking, it's like I'm just looking at these like, okay, if I could only watch one of these, which one would it
Yep,
be? And then,
yep,
okay, that one's gonna have to go higher. If I can only watch this one or this one now, and it's like literally a step by step until we have the top spot.
yeah.
I'm trying to, really subjective because again, we're not trying to decide what the objectively best franchise is.
Necessary.
We're trying to decide what the personal favorites are, and there is a difference there. Because,
Yeah, there is.
I don't people have a tendency of doing this. I know it's and, not to crap on anybody specifically, but I know a lot of, say, of the big YouTubers will do this. They'll feel they have to put, like, a certain classic film higher than others even though they might like the others below it more, they'll be like, "Oh, but this has to go." Well, why does it have to go there? Why?
Right.
Like, if we're ranking the best movies, then fine, that's one thing. But this is not what we're doing. We're
Yeah.
ranking our favorites.
Yeah.
So I have to, I'm guilty of that. I have to take myself out of that mindset when I do this,
So am I.
especially for franchise frenzy, because I find myself doing that. I'll be like, "Oh, how can I justify having this lower?" Well, because I prefer the ones that are above it. Plain and
Yeah.
simple. I'd
Exactly.
rather watch this. Like, I don't care how good objectively a movie is. If I'm not going to rewatch it as much as the others because I just find the others more entertaining, well, the others need to go above it. Plain and simple. Doesn't
Yep.
mean that that movie's a bad movie, suddenly a worse movie. It just means that for me personally, I prefer these, and that's how I want people to go into this.
Yeah. And what makes it harder is that you're not just ranking them against other movies in the franchise, because that's kind of
AK
not what it's about. You're ranking it against
other part ones or
other
other part
part
twos.
ones or part
Exactly.
twos or part threes. So, hey, Casey, what's happening, man?
And that's exactly it. And that's why I think franchise frenzy is unique because
Right.
we're not ranking the franchise, we're ranking the movies against their counterparts.
Grapes of Wrath overrated. I don't even know if I saw that one yet. I don't think I have. Um, well, uh, yeah, Jess Franco. I think did he do that one or did Gene Roland do that one? I think it was Jess Franco, wasn't it? Oh,
Uh,
let me look it up.
Grapes of Breath, you mean?
Yeah,
But yeah, so my point is like movies like Elm Street. Like I don't want people to go in. I mean, it's one thing if if they absolutely love it, sure, of course. But I don't want people to go in and they go, "Oh, I have to have Elm Street here because it's a classic horror film." If they prefer other movies instead of it.
I'm thinking of the Grapes of Death. Damn, Casey got me already. I'm in
Yeah,
strict horror
I think you're
mode.
talking about the
He's
John
talking about
Ford.
classic literature.
Yeah, you're talking about the John Ford movie, right?
Damn, he got me. But Casey, I will say this: I watched Rampage for the first time today, and because it's not a kaiju movie, but it's a big monster movie, kind of. Well, whatever. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty freaking great. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, yep, with The Rock. First time. I mean, it's been sitting in my collection for years, and I watched it today, and kind of disappointed that I hadn't watched it sooner. But I almost spoiled the end, Joe.
Yeah.
Just now, I almost spoiled the end. But yeah, this is pretty cool. And I remember Dave saying that he liked this, that he got the Blu-ray. I think it was probably the same time I did, Black Friday, I think. And it's been sitting upstairs all that time. Like, you know what? I'm gonna take it out and watch it. The Meg's been sitting up there too, but I've already seen that. Yeah, it was fun. Then I had to go and watch gameplay. I was telling Joe about that because I used to play that game when I was younger. I used to pretend Lizzie was the Godzilla because we didn't have a proper Godzilla game. So,
Hey, Hobbs.
what's up, Hobbs? Yeah, we have a lot coming up. It's not just franchise frenzy. We're going to be talking about other stuff that we have coming up on our channels too this coming year. Oh man.
Yeah, the main purpose of this though is for anybody who is going to be participating. If they have any questions, now is the time to ask because,
Yeah.
or even if you're not participating and you're just curious in general about franchise frenzy, feel free to ask. That's why we're doing this right now. And I mean, it really starts now. I mean, we've been watching movies since, but the
Yeah.
first video is due the last Friday of next month. So
Yep.
literally a month from today, because today is the last Friday in December. So in the last Friday of January is when the first video is due. So if people have questions, now's the time.
I was already at 30. I was already at 50. But now that there's 60 in there, I'm like, where do I put this and where do I put that? And
It's tough. But once we hit like that 6th round, we're gonna lose a lot right there. A lot of
yeah,
franchises drop off.
yeah. I mean, I get that, but it's just first
Yeah.
round, man. Whew. So
Yep.
it's a beast. It's a beast. We watched 60 movies in the first round. 60 movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where to put half of them.
In the first 4 rounds.
Yeah.
The 60
Yeah.
in the first 4 rounds.
Yep. Yep.
It's pretty crazy. But again, we wanted to do this right. I mean, that was the whole point, you know? Like, let's legitimately see where these franchises are gonna rank in our own personal preferences.
Yep. The one that got me, though, I will say the one that you uncovered that got me was the Ghoulies one. With Ouija's being the 5th movie.
Yep.
I mean, I've seen it, and I sent it to you, but I did not know it was part of that franchise. But it does make sense. I mean, when you watch it,
it literally is. It's just
yeah.
It's like the new generation. That's why it was made as a spiritual sequel to Ghoulies.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the synopsis, it's funny. You can even read on the synopsis. It literally mentions Ghoulies on IMDb, and the director's like a marketing campaign, and it said, you know, in the tradition of Ghoulies. It's pretty funny. It's
It
fun.
does actually. Yeah, it does.
Say on the Blu-ray too.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
tradition of Empire Pictures,
Yep.
1980s classic horror comedy Ghoulies comes director Danny, whatever his name, Dravens. Wait a minute. Why does that sound familiar? Never mind. I reviewed that from Body Bag.
I was going to say either that or you're thinking of The Crow. Eric. You got to remember the Deadly 10. Most of those were like sequels to old horror franchises.
And this is no different.
Exactly. That's the Ghoulies one.
It's actually part of 2 different franchises.
Yeah, it's basically Ghoulies and
Evil Bong.
Evil Bong, yeah.
Yep.
But it's definitely more Ghoulies. I mean, it's literally just took they took like the weed part of Evil Bong.
It's in there, but it's a very small part of the film, which is why I actually remember when I watched it with Brad, I was like, you know, it is very little in the actual film itself. It didn't feel like an Evil Bong movie, per se.
Yeah, Casey. We are still waiting for Bride of the Head of the Family, but the good news is Charles Band recently got married, and his wedding cake topper was the head of the family and the bride. Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
So I mean, that's good because it's not like they just forgot about it. So it's definitely coming.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Who did he get married to? Do you know?
I'm guessing his fiance.
I deal with this every day, guys. Every day. And to be honest, we haven't really watched a lot of movies this week either. We've been kind of taking it easy this week because of the holidays and all.
Yeah. But we're a good distance ahead from where we even need to be when it comes to franchise frenzy, especially.
We are.
I mean, we had to get a head start on it with how many franchises we were doing.
Yeah, 60s. It's tough. It's tough. We have.
Hey, Jim.
I think we have. Hey, Jim. We have 2 left to watch, and for 2s.
For part 2, yep.
Just 2 left to watch. And part 3, we have a bunch.
We do.
Yeah.
But
we'll get there.
With part 2s, we have 2 left, and that video isn't due until the last Friday in February. So we're still months ahead.
Yep. So one of the things that's going to be changing is going to be the days that we do Bravo's Scariest Movie Moments Challenge. It's still going to be on Sunday, but we changed the other day to Wednesday instead of Thursday. So, not sure if that wrecks anyone's schedule. I hope it does.
Well, and to explain, that's because every month, every single month, we are going to have a theme. And we're basically going to be monthly theme Thursdays where we review a movie from that theme. So you're not going to know what the theme is each month until the very first Thursday of the month when you'll find out, when we'll announce it and then give you the first review.
Mm-hmm.
Jason and I will be watching most of these movies together, but we'll each have different reviews on the days. So,
Yes.
if there's 4 Thursdays in a month, we'll watch 8 movies, but I'll review 4 of them, he'll review 4 of them. So you'll
Yep.
have different reviews on each of our channels on those Thursdays.
Yeah.
And those movies will fit the theme. So it could be anything. It could be, mall movies, carnival movies. It could be movies that Anchor Bay released. It could be movies that are from the same director.
Yep.
All different themes.
Yep.
We might do like a Gialli month. We might do another Hammer month. But again, it won't be the full month like we did last year. It'll just be just on those Thursdays. We'll have the reviews for the movies that fit the themes.
Yep. This is going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Dave. What's up, dude? Yeah, and if you guys have any suggestions for themes, I won't guarantee that we do them. Feel free to,
I mean, we're going to have 12 themes, obviously, in 2024. But chances are, if it's something that seems to be working out, something that we like, we probably might keep it as a long-term thing. I mean, look how long we've been doing Positive Spin already.
Controversial View.
Yeah, Controversial Views going to be a long. I mean, anthologies of horror, I can't see us ever stopping that. We have so much possibilities for that because there are so many anthologies and we only choose a segment per video. So we can do that for the next 100 years and still have plenty of content for that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, and these Theme Thursdays, I think will be fun.
Yeah, I think so too. We're also going to be doing something that we're going to try out once a month for now. Would you care to mention it, Joe?
You're talking about the sequels?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once or maybe even twice, depending on the way things flow with the Fridays. Knowing us, just like we weren't going to do Positive Spin every Saturday, and then we never took a break. But we're going to be also doing a new series called Seldom Seen Sequels.
Yes.
Where we watch and review, or not necessarily, might not be a full review, but sort of bring attention to sequels that people either have seldomly seen or probably don't even know about in some cases.
Yeah.
I really don't want to give any away as examples because that's the whole point. But basically, sequels you probably don't even know exist, or if you do, you might not realize that they're as good as they are, or maybe not. You might not know anything about them at all. So just like Controversial View, we're going to watch them so that way you don't necessarily have to. And we'll tell you if they're worth seeking out.
Wow. Just thought of one that's a really good one because of what you just said. Let's see if I can type.
Hobbs says erotic clowns. Is that 2 separate themes, or you really want us to watch something with erotic clowns? Like, is there supposed to be a comma in between erotic and clowns, or?
Well, speaking of, I think that would be perfect.
There you go. Do it. We're watching it anyway.
Yeah.
Sure, he did watch it actually.
Yeah, we did. But a lot of people don't know about that. Not that most people don't know about the whole series, so
Yeah.
Kaiju. Yeah, you're on the right. You're on the right path there.
I like the Hispanic horror too.
Me too. Erotic clowns. I still can't get over that one.
Erotic clowns.
Touch base on things you haven't done, like shoot, that one you just reviewed that I want to see now, the Blue Jean Monster. That looks really freaking cool.
So
Horror
yeah,
comedies.
our first theme will start on next week. So this upcoming Thursday,
Yep,
you'll find out what our first theme of 2024 is. And again, every Thursday we'll have those reviews, and it'll be a different one on each of our channels.
and there'll be a different theme every month.
Yep.
Every single month.
Monthly themed Thursdays.
Yep, that's going to be fun. And the seldom seen sequels is going to be fun too.
Definitely.
So,
And we're going to do those. So because Franchise Frenzy videos are going to be on the last Friday of every month, we're going to do the seldom seen sequel videos also on Fridays that aren't the last Friday of the month, or that
right.
aren't the first Friday, because our first Friday we're going to reserve for when we do our recommendation videos. So
Yeah.
when Jason does his 5 horror recommendations, and I
You
do
do
my
three for me.
my 3
Yeah.
from me. So we will reserve the first and the last Friday for, the recommendations, and then Franchise Frenzy. And then in between we'll do 1 or 2 of the seldom seen sequels on those Fridays. And because the reason for that was not only because that day's open, but it sort of goes together. I mean, Franchise Frenzy is about watching franchises, which means watching sequels.
Mm-hmm.
So some of these seldom seen sequels might be part of these franchises we're doing, but most of them won't be. Some of them are just sort of one-offs that you don't even probably know exist. Again, there might be like a major movie that had this random, straight to
Yeah.
video sequel, or a made for TV sequel, or whatever it might be,
Yep.
and no one really knows about it, or it came and it went, and you might have it might have happened and you just totally forgot about it.
Yep.
So
There are a lot of them out there too.
we figured, Fridays are a good day for like the sequels because it's also Franchise Frenzy day.
Yeah. That'll be fun. We also have another thing coming up. I don't know if we want to reveal that one yet. That's going to be a little bit later in the, well, it's going to be a few months into the year, probably, maybe.
Plenty of content though. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, plenty of content. I'm getting panic attacks here.
It'll be fun. It'll definitely be fun, Hobbs. When it comes to Franchise Frenzy, it's a lot less to it than it seems. Like it's
Yeah,
really not. It's really not. Especially depending on how many franchises people choose. I mean, we chose 60, but we obviously don't see other people doing that many franchises. That's why I said I would hope people would do at least 10 to 15 at minimum,
yeah,
just to make it worth it.
interesting. Yeah,
And yeah, to have enough where you can actually continue doing it throughout the year. And there are so many franchises. I mean, for us to find 60, and we probably could have, if we really put our minds together and maybe bought a few things here and there, we probably could have done
70.
to
Yeah,
70,
maybe 80. Maybe,
maybe 80, maybe.
maybe.
Yeah. So there are plenty of horror franchise, and that's just horror. I mean, that's 60 horror franchises we're doing.
Yep.
So, and again, we have the rule that we're only doing, franchises where we own every movie on physical media. That
Yeah.
rule does not apply to everybody else.
Right.
Like I said in my video, if you don't own them, that's fine. You can watch them on streaming. You can, borrow them from friends. You can, whatever you have to do, watch them online, rent them, whatever you can do to watch the movie. So it's not difficult. I mean, if anything, it'll be most difficult on Jason and I because we're doing so many, and because we have that extra rule of having to own all of them. So if we can do 60, there's no reason why everybody else can't do, 15 franchises or so.
Or two.
And it's also one of those things where you don't have to watch every one. If you're really familiar with the movie, like if you really know where you're gonna place Halloween or Scream or whatever it might be, and you really don't think you need to watch it again because you've seen it 100 times,
Yeah.
you don't have to take the time to watch it again. You can just focus on the movies that you feel you're not as familiar with, or maybe that you haven't seen. And I think that's what I love so much about this is that when we're done with this, no matter what, you and I will have watched 60 franchises from start to finish.
Yeah.
some of these for the first time, maybe all the way through. You
Yep.
know, some of them that we haven't maybe revisited since, the 80s or 90s when we rented them on tape.
I've already enjoyed watching a lot of the stuff that we've watched that it's just been sitting in my collection that I watched
Exactly.
maybe once or twice. And,
Exactly. So, I mean, that's think about that. It's like when we did Slashback. We did
Mhm.
Slashback for those 2 years. So, think about, we had watched, we had watched 104 slasher movies for the Slashback
Awesome.
challenge over the 2
Yep.
years. So, with Franchise Frenzy, think about it,
All right.
franchises 60 franchises with however many movies in each of those franchises. So that's a lot of movies that we're watching from our collection.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, and again, by the time we're done with this, we can literally say we watched 60 horror franchises from start to finish.
Half of the movies we say, why don't we watch these more?
Yeah, that
Which has
there's a
been fun. It's been
there's,
so much fun.
you just saying that there's a franchise that popped into my head, one of those 4 movie franchises,
Yep.
that has an original where we got mad about Scream Factory, that
Yep.
one. And
Yep.
I'm sitting here thinking, why the hell don't I watch this? I mean, it's ridiculous. Or even one that we watched part 2 the other night. You said you preferred part 2 over 1.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
even that's another franchise. It's like the first 2, I fucking love those. Like,
Yeah.
why do I not watch those more?
Yeah.
So it's really cool. I mean, I there's a reason why we do this sort of thing, and
Yeah.
I really do. I hope people join in.
Just
Like,
have fun with it.
yeah, this is like a once. This is like not to like exaggerate, but this is like a one. When else has anybody ever done this? Like this? This is just a one-time deal. Like, this is it. We're doing it one time, and that's it. We're not returning to this. This isn't like one of those series we're gonna do again. Like, this is it. This is the one opportunity for anybody who wants to do it.
That's how you talk me into keep going up, right?
But
This
it's
is a one
true. I
time
mean,
thing.
we're
It
not.
is. It
We're
is.
not gonna
It
do
is.
it again.
I know.
I mean, this is it.
It's funny though.
Franchise Frenzy is a one-time deal. So
That's
if
how you talk. It's
anybody
like, oh no.
if anybody's even on the fence, should I do it or should I not? This is the time. We're not doing this again. I promise you.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a one time deal for me. That's for sure. But it's been so much fun though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wish we could do this all the time, but whew, there's a lot to it. There's definitely a lot to it, but it's so much fun though. Like I said, there are movies that have been sitting in my collection for years that I've seen, but I haven't watched in probably 5 or 6 years
Mm-hmm.
that I'm rewatching now, and I'm like, damn, I love that movie. Why don't I watch that more?
Exactly. Hobbs, to answer that question, he has them in stacks. He has them all kind of organized, like what we got to watch for part 1, part 2s, part 3s.
It's bad.
So,
It's bad. There's like towers over to the left of me right now. They're towers of movies.
yeah.
60 franchises, and there are actually a few of them that I have all on the space of one DVD, well, Joe's mentioned all the ones that we're doing anyway. So like say like the Prophecy collection that we're doing, which I was really excited to do that. I know Joe was too,
Oh, me
because
too. I was.
I saw the first one
Mm-hmm.
once or twice, and I'd seen the second one, but all the rest of them had been sitting in my collection and I haven't seen them. And now Vinegar Syndrome is releasing 1 through 3 that they just released.
Yep.
So, it's fun to check these movies out. I I was watching Leon's video. I can never remember the name of his channel. I just know him as Leon, but he just got the Prophecy box set
Mm-hmm.
from
Vinegar
Vinegar
Syndrome.
Syndrome. He's like, oh yeah, I've never seen the other two. He said I almost bought that Blu-ray that you have that has all 5 of them on there.
Mm-hmm.
But instead he got the Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah.
And I was just like thinking to myself, 4 and 5 are awful good.
I honestly, 4 is like my favorite one.
Yeah.
2 and 4, I think were
4 and
my
5 are
favorites.
really good.
Yeah. So it's just funny. It's one of those franchises that I really want to do. Same reason as you. I had only seen part 1,
yeah.
and it had been a long time since I had seen it. So I was so interested in seeing, because it's one of those things, I've owned it for so long. I've owned that full set, and not that I need a reason to watch things, but sometimes I do because I own so much.
Yeah.
So it's like, when would I have
Mine
gotten
was still
around?
wrapped.
When
Mine was still in the wrapper, brand new.
Like, when would I have gotten around to saying, "You know what? Today I feel like watching all 5 Prophecy films." It probably
Yep.
wouldn't have happened for a long time just because. So, franchise frenzy has given me an excuse
Yep.
to watch so many movies that I likely wouldn't have revisited for a long time.
Yeah, this damn thing was sitting in my collection, brand new
Yep.
and sealed,
Yeah, that's what I got that, yeah.
that I got from a yard sale years ago. And I was like, I've seen the first one. It was all right. I'll pick it up. It just sat for years.
Hobbs, that's a great question. I did answer in the first video, so hopefully people saw that. 4 movies or more,
Yes.
because if it's under 4 movies, if there's 3 movies, it's only a trilogy.
Yeah.
So once it hits part 4, whether part 4 is a prequel, remake, whatever, as long as there are 4 movies in the same franchise, again,
Yep.
whether they're sequels, prequels, remakes, reboots, whatever they are, this has to be 4 films for it to be a franchise.
Yep.
So, like us, like we have in my video that I posted earlier today where I revealed the 60 franchises that Jason and I are doing. You know, I started with all the 4 movie franchises that we're doing, and then I did the 5
Mhm.
movie franchises, and then 6, and all the way up to the 16 movie franchise that we're doing. So,
Yeah.
4 movies is a franchise. Anything less cannot be considered. There were a few that I wish had 4 movies that I would have liked to do, say
Me too.
like Warlock or Basket Case or something like that.
Joyride.
Exactly, but there's only 3, so they're not gonna be included in franchise
Yep.
frenzy.
I love Basket Case. So that would have been right up my alley. Unfortunately, it's not really a franchise. I mean, it is, but it's not technically a franchise because it doesn't have 4 more films.
Maybe at some point, maybe in 2025 when we're done with franchise frenzy, maybe we can do like a trilogy one because that one won't take that long at all. And we can do
You say
we
that
can
now.
well, there's only so many trilogies. I mean, there's so many
Yeah,
movies
that's
now
true.
have like a even if it's like a remake, like a 4th film to make it a remake or a
Yeah.
reboot. There aren't that many trilogies, as there's way more franchises than there are trilogies, for example.
Yeah. Did I tell you I watched the 28 minutes, the end of Joyride? I watched the regular
Yeah,
theatrical one,
yeah, yeah,
and I watched the original one too. And you're right, it is a different film.
completely.
It kind of doesn't deviate like the
Mm,
real movie does.
mhm.
And in a way, I like the way they did it better, but I do like that 28 minutes
I
because
wish there
most of
was
it takes place in that cornfield.
Yep, I always wish there was a way they could have included both. Like,
Yeah,
somehow, make like, and I don't care if it would have been longer. Like, it would have been cool to have all of that because there are things I like about both endings.
yeah,
So, you need like a hybrid version.
yeah. And I
Um,
like all 3 of those movies. So, I mean,
Me too.
Joyride is just a trilogy that I've
Well,
I've always loved.
we're gonna be doing the other 2 for something, so,
Yeah, I know.
um, yeah, Dave, I think so too. I think we can do the trilogies at some point.
Yeah, that would be fun. I think that would be fun. Can you imagine? Jeez. I mean, what would be your favorite trilogy of all time?
Exactly, and it cannot be a trilogy that's part of a franchise. We'd have to make that rule. We can't just say, "Okay, well, the first 3 Scream movies or whatever," no.
Right,
It
right.
has to only be 3. So,
Yeah. And Scream would have qualified at one time.
yep.
A lot of them would have, if you think
True,
about it.
true,
But
true.
yeah,
But, yeah, I mean but also and we'll see by next year, by 2025, how many of those trilogies are still trilogies. For all we know, who knows? You might get, like, a fucking Basket Case remake or something, you know what I mean? You just don't know.
yeah.
So
There are movies coming out there that we've talked about. Like there's a Toxie movie
yep.
coming out next
Mhm.
year. We're only a couple days from next year, but
Yeah.
it's next year. There's another Conjuring movie coming out next year.
Mhm.
There is. I'm trying to think of all the different ones that are coming out that you told me about. There's
Case another Omen.
yes, another Omen movie.
Casey, I'm glad you mentioned Creature because Jason
Oh
and I also considered doing Universal, but we decided not to
yeah,
do any of the Universals because number one, we did Universal Monster Mayhem in May. So we
yeah,
reviewed all those movies, and then we're like, okay, if we do Frankenstein, then we kind of feel like we need to do Dracula, and then we kind of feel like we need to do the Mummy, and then so then
yeah.
it's like that would have sent us down like a wormhole. It just
I
we
believe me, we thought about it though because Creature from the Black Lagoon is my favorite franchise in that. My
Well,
favorite trilogy.
trilogy, that's the thing,
My
exactly.
favorite trilogy.
Mhm.
And we even talked about doing Hammer. And
Yeah.
I'll just put this out there: someone will be doing some Hammer films, which I think is cool because it's different.
Yeah.
It's not something that I wanted to open up a can of worms with, but I think it's clever that they're doing it.
Mhm.
So I don't have a problem with that at all because there are more than 4 movies. So
Well, that was my problem, was my way my mind works is, like,
I know.
if we start with
I know.
Frankenstein from Universal, then I'm like, do we include every friggin' Frankenstein movie
Yep.
ever made? Like,
I got a
or
whole bag of them
I mean,
upstairs that
it's
aren't even
just
related.
yeah, so
Yeah.
where do you draw the line, you know?
Yeah. Yep. But that would be neat though. And we have talked about doing a series that kind of has that kind of theme in mind. And maybe we'll get to it eventually.
Yeah.
Who knows? Because there's so much to do with that as well.
Mhm.
And okay, I'll just put it out there now. We thought about doing Creature from the Black Lagoon because technically it's a trilogy, but The Shape of Water was made to be a Creature from the Black Lagoon remake.
I mean, it legitimately is.
It technically counts.
I
I
mean,
count it.
it's directly from
Yes.
Del Toro. I mean, he
Yes.
literally says it is a remake of 1 and 2. Like,
Yep.
he literally merged the 2 of them. That's his remake of Creature from the Black Lagoon and Revenge of the Creature. So,
And it was all I could do not to
yeah,
not to want to include that because
yeah,
yeah, I love all 4 of those movies. I love them.
yep,
So
exactly.
technically Creature from the Black Lagoon can be done.
Mhm. But we just stayed away from all of the Universals because I would have felt like, okay, well, if we do Creature, then I wanna do the Mummy and I wanna do Frankenstein, and so it's
Yeah.
what about
And we stay away from Hammer
what
too.
about the Invisible Man? It's like it just
Oh man, that would have been so cool. Oh my god.
so it's tough. It's
Hmm. That's another one that we could have done. Can you imagine all the different Invisible Man one? Because you'd have to include the John Carpenter one.
memoirs, yep, yep.
You'd have to include the Japanese ones.
Invisible Man Lives, exactly.
I mean, there are
Yeah.
so many different Invisible, and the new one too. Which
Yeah, Dave, that's exactly why I'm glad that we did because it gave us a good excuse to not go down
yeah,
that rabbit hole. Um, with that being said, we're not completely done with Hammer,
no,
that might be one of our monthly themes at some point.
might be.
So, because, we did our 30 Hammer reviews, and
Man, that was fun.
we were literally trying to narrow them down. There were still some that we wanted to do, or
Yeah,
maybe some that we didn't own at the time that we have since got whatever, so there's
or some that
plenty
we lost.
yeah. So,
Rasputin.
we have plenty of reasons to
Rasputin.
return back to Hammer, which we more than likely will.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a list from you too, Joe, of all the Hammer movies that you own because
Again?
we have so many to pick from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Because I erased it when we did our Hammer month, but
Yeah,
there are
well,
a few that I think
like
you
I said,
might have that I would like to do.
there are the 2 that I mentioned before we went live.
Yeah,
I definitely wanted to do yeah, I definitely want to do those 2,
yeah,
and then I haven't decided on another 2 yet.
yeah.
But yeah.
But there'll be 8 though. So yeah.
Hey, Brad.
Yeah, we were talking about you, sort of.
We were.
What's up,
All
Brad?
good. It was good, don't worry.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, yeah, Dave, thank you for that. I'm glad you liked September. Definitely
Yeah.
plenty more to review.
They're just a different type of film.
I got 2 for Christmas, Dave, one
Did
that I
you?
yep, the 2 that I just mentioned to you.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Um,
All right.
one of them I thought I always had, the Anchor Bay, which I didn't, so that's why I made sure I got that again. And
Right.
then the other that I wish that I had picked up at the time that I just didn't, and then
Yeah.
made sure that I put it on my Christmas list, so I got it. Um, you know,
Yeah.
so I definitely wanna do those 2, and there's others too. I mean, there's some that by the time we do it, who even knows what else we'll have? Because there are some that you have that I don't, and there are some that I have that you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? With all the thrifting and stuff that we do, we might find
Yeah.
ones that we both have, you know?
Oh, and speaking of, just to let everybody know, I'm not sure how thrifting is by them. Joe seems to find more new stuff than I do, and I seem to find more weird stuff than you do.
Yeah.
But now is a good time to thrift between now and the month of February because a lot of people are donating stuff to thrift stores and stuff because of Christmas.
Mhm.
So, like, they they decide they don't want physical media anymore. How about that?
Brad, we're just talking about Franchise Frenzy. Just
Yeah,
answering questions that people might have about it, because again, this is the last Friday of the month right now, so which means a month from now is the last Friday of January. That's when the first video is due for Franchise Frenzy. So if
yeah,
people have questions, we really want them to ask now, so that way everything's clear by then.
and I don't know if Brett has all the Ghoulies movies or not, but I know he has Ouija's.
Yep.
So,
I think Brad already picked his franchises anyway.
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we got our 60. I'm good now. Like I really am. This is like I really do feel fulfilled with the 60 that we've chosen now.
definitely, Dave, because that's where I found a lot of really good stuff.
Yeah.
That's the only. It's not the only time, but it's the time where I can find a lot of newer stuff. Um,
4 plus Ouija's, Brad. Ouija's is the fifth as the Deadly 10.
yeah,
Ouija's is the Deadly 10 sequel to Ghoulies.
yeah.
So, but
It's
there's
also
four.
an evil bong.
Yep,
It's like
it's like Freddy versus Jason, like a mix. Yeah,
like
Demonic
a
Toys versus
crossover.
Puppet Master. One of those.
Evil
Um,
bong versus Ginger Dead Man
which Full Moon is
crossover.
famous for. Exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
but yeah, but then prior to that, Brad, yes, there was four before Ouija's, so there's five total.
Yeah,
Those are fun too. I mean,
yeah.
we had a one of them you fucking loved.
Oh my god, dude, I had a blast with that. I don't know why I've had the set for so long. I don't know why it took me so long to watch it,
And
but
remember, we almost didn't because you thought you lost it for a little bit there. Well, you
I
knew where it
did.
was, but
That was
yeah.
the one I thought went back in the back
And
of the bed. I don't
I'm
remember
glad
even
we
where
did
I
it
found it.
because
Yeah. Oh my god, that's a fun
oh,
movie. I'm ready to watch that one
Brad,
again.
Ouija's is way more. I mean, Ouija's is an Evil Bong film, but it's way more Ghoulies than it's both.
Yeah, it is.
It's like I said, it's like counting Freddy versus Jason as one or the other. It's both,
Yeah.
But yeah,
Her
I don't know if you've seen all the Ghoulies films, Brad. But like for sure, like Ouija's is like so much more Ghoulies than it is Evil Bong.
Yeah, it is. Because the weed is kind of scarce and I mean, I know that's a basis for the story,
We were talking
but
about it a little bit before you came in, Brad.
yeah,
Even on the synopsis on the Blu-ray, it mentions Ghoulies because it was,
yeah.
it was made as a sequel for Deadly 10. I like
And
it.
you
I
know, I
love
for some reason I could not see it. I could not see it until when you said it, I was like, wait a minute.
it's very like it clicks. It's like holy shit, that's right.
It does because they are basically ghoulies.
Yeah, and
They are the new generation of ghoulies.
The Deadly
So
10, like we said, that's the point of the Deadly 10 was they were literally the new generation of all these
yep,
movies. Subspecies and head of the family. Um, all the others that they did. Puppet Master, obviously.
yeah.
So it's pretty cool that I like when Full Moon does that. It's like they resurrect these old franchises that people loved in the 80s and 90s, and it's like let's bring them back here in the Deadly 10. Hell yeah.
And so far they've been hitting them out of the park. I mean, I don't think you and I watched Blade the first the
For the Iron Cross.
Iron
No.
Cross, yeah.
Yeah,
I think I watched it with Brad.
you did.
Yeah.
Um, Brad, that's fine because it's also an Evil Bong film.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I would want you to include it for Evil Bong as well.
Yeah.
Um, if you were doing Ghoulies too, you'd Ghoulies as well as Evil Bong, then you would want to include it for both of them. But
Right.
I don't think you're doing
It's like
Ghoulies,
Freddy
so
versus Jason.
yeah, exactly. So no, that's perfectly fine. I would want you to include it for Evil Bong because it is part of that as well.
Well, actually, Joe and I were talking about this the other day. I'll get your opinion on this, Brad. Do you consider the Gingerweed Man I mean, I know it's a part of the Evil Bong franchise, but do you consider it a part of the Ginger Dead Man franchise?
I mean, ginger weed, I would say it is. Just right from
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
I
it
mean,
kind
even
of
from
all plays together, but it's not like it's hard to explain. You have to watch it. It's
from what I've read, though, it was from what I
intended.
read, it was intended to be part of both. Just
Yeah,
like again, just like Ouija's is both Ghoulies and Evil Bong.
yeah,
That one is intended to be still part of that universe because you have Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong. They're all tied together.
yeah.
But
And they all kind of
yeah,
they're all in each other's yeah.
like Doll Man, Demonic Toys, Puppet Master, all those they all kind
Right,
of connect, and
right.
yeah, it's all part of the same universe.
It's both. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what we figured. It was
yeah,
both.
yeah. It's like like the Conjuring movies is another good example. Like it's
Yep,
like they have Conjuring 1, 2, 3, and 4 coming out, but technically Conjuring 4 is actually part 10 of the franchise because they're all part of the same universe.
yep.
Especially for not really a spoiler, but for anybody who has seen The Nun 2, now it 100% confirms that it's all connected. So,
Yeah. Well, not that it wasn't before, but it was. Yeah,
yeah.
because you still had the priest and all.
It's like, people saying vampire journals in the past, "Oh, is it really part of Subspecies?" And then Subspecies Blood Rise came out and said, "Y sure the hell it is." Like, it confirmed 100% that vampire journals is part of the franchise.
You know what's funny though? Lately, when I've been checking, and don't read anything into this because it is absolutely part of the universe. But when I look up the Conjuring universe and get, where they take place either in time or in chronological order, they do not consider the La Llorona film to be part of the Conjuring universe. And it is
Well, it
because
is.
it does connect to the other
It
ones.
has a shared character, and it even mentions
Right.
Annabelle.
Right.
So, I think
And at
I
the end of the Nun 2, did you make it all the way to the end of the
Yep,
credits?
yep.
Because they don't list that one as part. If you like this, then watch this, and this. But that the La Llorona is nowhere in there.
I can tell you why.
Why?
Originally, it was intended to continue, it didn't do well, so they're not
Yeah,
continuing that story.
I really like that movie.
So,
I thought it was good.
but if you there was sets that were released with La Llorona on it originally, and now the
Yeah,
new Conjuring sets that come out do not include it anymore. But
all right.
again, it doesn't it's just one of those things where it's like, how can I explain it? Like Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys, same thing.
Yeah,
It's like
it's not done by the same
they
company,
want
but
you
it's the same
they
thing.
want you to forget about it, but it's still part
Right.
of the franchise.
You can
So
wipe your ass, but there's still shit on the paper. It doesn't mean that there's
exactly.
not shit on. Yeah.
Hey, Texas Horror, how's it going?
Hey, Texas horror.
No, Brad,
Um,
we're doing them all as one franchise. So it's a
yeah.
not right now, as of right now, it's a 9-movie franchise, but
Hmm.
next year the 10th one comes out. But
Yeah.
regardless, as long as it has 4 or more. But yeah, we're including all of them because they all really do connect. I mean, with the Nun 2 more than ever now with the way that one connect ties in. So
What a movie. Mm,
yeah,
my God. I'm ready to watch that one again too.
it's awesome. So atmospheric.
When you can see it.
The freaking setting, oh man, I love it.
Mm.
Love it.
I told you I looked at other movies on her HBO Max and they were all like that.
Oh yeah, she probably it's just her TV her
Yeah, her
HBO Max.
settings are off.
Yeah.
I even liked it when I couldn't see it that well.
It's good. It's really good.
Yeah, it is. It's oh my God. I mean, I'll just say it now because if you haven't seen it, it's one of the best depictions of the devil I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Ever.
Franchise Frenzy, Texas Horror. Yeah. So as a quick rundown, throughout the year of 2024, on the last Friday of every month, we're gonna have a Franchise Frenzy video. So January will be part ones, February part twos, March part threes, and so on. And
Yep.
we're not gonna rank the franchise against each other. We're gonna rank part ones against other part ones. So,
Part
you know,
twos against other part
A
twos.
Nightmare on
Part
Elm Street
threes. Yeah.
versus Halloween versus Friday the 13th versus Phantasm versus Scream, all that,
Yeah.
in the January video. And February video is gonna be, Elm Street Part 2 against Halloween 2 against Friday Part 2. We're gonna rank them based on their, their counterparts.
Yeah.
And basically by doing that, there's a point system where obviously whatever you have ranked at number 1 is gonna get 1 point. Whatever you have ranked at, say, number 30 is gonna get 30 points. And just like golf, the lowest score wins. So whichever franchise has the lowest score at the end is going to be objectively your favorite franchise because based on where you rank them, that lowest score means that you had them ranked high.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. It's basically the really the only way to get an objective answer as to what your favorite franchise is.
So
Because
if
there are people who say,
technically
"Oh."
there's a sequel that you don't particularly care for
Mhm.
in one of your favorite franchises, um,
Let's see how
and
much
you
it brings
rank
it
it
down.
low, that
Yeah.
could really hurt it. That could
Like,
hurt the
there like,
franchise.
the idea came from people saying, "Oh, Halloween's my favorite franchise," and or whatever, as an example, but then basically trashing most of the sequels, and,
Yeah.
so it made me think, are they really a fan of the franchise, or are they just a fan of, say, Halloween and Halloween 2 and the
Yeah.
ones with Jamie Lee Curtis? You know? Because I notice a lot of people will do that. They'll be like, "Oh, Halloween's my favorite franchise," but then they shit all over everything. So, is it really their favorite franchise, or do they just think that it is? Maybe
Yeah.
Halloween is their favorite horror movie, and that's fine, but just because they have Halloween ranked at number 1 doesn't mean they're gonna have the sequels ranked that high.
Yep.
So, it's gonna be interesting to see because you may end up with a more consistent franchise ranking higher than a franchise that maybe has your favorite horror movie ever.
Exactly.
One
And that's
movie
what I'm
doesn't
running
determine.
into now, to be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One movie doesn't determine a franchise, so
Yeah. But it can. It can, but it
yeah.
doesn't. Not necessarily.
Yeah, Brad, I said we're gonna rank the Conjuring universe is all one franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gave a more thorough answer, but you took a phone call and so you can go back and
Yeah.
I did answer it thoroughly. But to answer it in simplest terms, yes, the Conjuring universe is all one. So right now it is a 9-film franchise with the 10th film coming out next year.
Technically, you could do The Conjuring by itself after the new one comes out. Technically,
Meh.
you could.
I know, I
You can't do the other ones. You
don't
can't do the
confuse
other ones though.
I wouldn't confuse people though, because
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that we consider four or more to be a franchise, but technically, all those from the universe are in the same franchise.
yeah.
You know, this just happened. The Conjuring just happens to be the only part of that universe and franchise which is about to hit four.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Texas Horror. I really can't wait to see how it all plays out either.
Me too. Even Annabelle has three. But have you heard anything about that? Are they making another one of those?
Um, I think it's going to be after Conjuring 4 because they kinda follow that order. They do, like, like a Nun movie, a Conjuring movie,
Huh.
Annabelle. Like, now that The Nun has finally got its sequel, so now that's why The Nun kind of there's more time in between the next Annabelle because The Nun 2 took its place, and now they're gonna do The Conjuring 4, which is supposed to be the last Conjuring movie.
Yeah.
And so then I think they're gonna do one more
Uh,
Annabelle.
I think they have a couple more in them.
I think so too.
I mean, I would love to see one just on the Amityville house. I mean, we did see glimpses of it,
And part 2, yeah.
but as we know, they can come back and go and come back and go. And,
Well,
we saw that.
this is why I love Annabelle Comes
Yeah.
Home so much because we get these little glimpses of all the different
Yes.
ideas they could have, and it's like the multiverse in that one movie of all these different Conjuring,
You know,
movies that could happen.
right. There could be a ton of them.
Mhm.
What I also thought would be an interesting idea is, and I think I told you, just like Friday the 13th, the series, you could have a television show about the Warrens where they spotlight one of those pieces in their collection through an episode. And I
Mhm.
think having the Warrens, if they can tell it in one episode, some of them might be two or whatever, but I think if they could do that, I think they would have a really good show there
Yeah.
because there's no way you're going to be able to make movies off of everything in that room. There's just not enough time,
Yep. Um,
unfortunately.
Brad, we didn't do Godzilla only because
Good Lord.
There's so many, and also just because we have that rule, like I personally like to do things that I own on physical media. So we only picked franchises that we own every movie on physical media. We don't have every Godzilla.
I do.
Well, you don't because the new one's not out yet. So
Oh, yeah, that's true. I don't. But yeah, I do. Yeah. Except for -1.
so
Yeah. Which gives me another idea. All right.
any movies we're looking forward to? Texas Horror. Well, my first answer would have been Scream, but that's a complete mess now, so I don't even know we're gonna get that next year, if at all.
Yeah.
Um, I would say Saw 11 comes to mind right away because I
Yes.
love Saw X so much.
Absolutely.
Um, I'm
Conjuring 4?
Conjuring 4 for sure. If we get the next Exorcist movie, which we probably won't now because people bitch and moan, I would have
Yeah.
loved to have seen that one, Exorcist Deceiver. Um, now
I would love to see where they were going to take it next. I would
as for
love to see
something
that.
coming out on physical media, I cannot wait for Thanksgiving, which comes out the last Tuesday of January.
Yeah.
That is a day
Hey,
one that
Birch,
I'm going to the store grabbing that, that Tuesday because I need to own Thanksgiving.
I got a gift card, so I'm going to order it. And hopefully I'll get it by the time it comes out.
Yeah, for sure. I'm waking up that morning and I'm grabbing that for sure. I need
Oh,
I need
man,
that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Hey, Verge.
Yeah, but the prices are too expensive right now. They usually come down. They take a while to come down on Amazon. Like last week, it was $36. Mm-hmm. This week is $24. So it takes a while. I don't know if they charge you all for that at one time or if they give it back to you when it goes down. I don't know.
Well, Amazon?
Yeah.
They won't charge you until it's shipped.
Oh, okay.
So
I should do that then.
You'll get the cheapest price no matter what. If you pre-order on Amazon, you're guaranteed the lowest price for it.
Nice.
Up until the time that's released, obviously. Like, you know what I mean? So the lowest price it gets, you'll get that price.
You don't have to worry about it being at Best Buy anymore, right? Bastards.
Fuck them. Yeah, definitely Texas. Love both of them.
Loved it.
Thanksgiving and Saw X, love them both.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to Saw 11 next. Can't wait for that one. We're getting that September 27th, 2024.
Huh. The naysayers can say what they want, but this was another really good year for horror. Oh, another really good year. I mean, people bitch and complain just like they did about Halloween Ends. And what did they bitch about last year? Of course, everyone loves Smile. You know how we thought of that one, though.
People love Smile. They love Pearl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was another one. Yeah. But, they bitch and complain about Halloween Ends, and they bitch and complain about The Exorcist Believer.
Scream 2022.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm ready to watch Scream 6 again.
I'm not sure, Brad. Did you post a video? If so, I didn't see it. Texas Horror, good question. Are we doing a best of 2023? Of course we are.
Of course, yeah.
We're still compiling. It's going to be a little bit. It's going to be a little bit because we're still compiling a list and we're waiting for a few things to come out that aren't out yet because they'll be out early. Yeah, that and then another one like that one that I mentioned that's coming out in March. I think we might want to wait for that one.
Maybe.
It's getting a lot of buzz, whether we like it or not. It is getting a lot of buzz, so I think it's worth checking out.
Oh, the short one. Did you just put it up, or is it
I haven't seen it, Brad. I'll have to watch that.
I saw the short of the one. I liked it. The one, the stuff you got. He got Well, I won't tell you because.
No, I'll watch it.
Then you'll have no reason to watch it.
Verge, yeah, 4 movies or more for a franchise because if it's 3 movies, it's a trilogy.
Yeah.
So as soon as it gets to that 4th film, it's considered a franchise. Whether that 4th movie is a reboot or a remake, a prequel, a sequel, it doesn't matter as long as it's the same franchise and as long as it has 4 movies.
Are we doing a best of?
Of course.
Of course. Yeah. We're already working out the
Well,
list.
by the end, all said and done, we'll probably have a good list of like 30 probably to rank.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We had enough trouble putting up 20.
No, last year we did a lot for 2022.
Yeah, we did 30. We did 30 last year.
Yeah, I think we'll get 30 again.
Think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's no telling of when they end up coming out too, because a lot of the movies that were considered the best,
Some of them aren't though. That's the thing. So
yeah. Like I'm waiting on It's a Wonderful Life. I want to see that.
I don't know if that one's getting one. So
oh, really? It's a Shudder.
Yeah.
All Shutters.
I don't. Is that
released.
a Shudder? I didn't know that it was. Well, then it should. There's no release date for it. Yeah.
That's not surprising. Well, it took a while for Christmas Bloody Christmas to come out.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, it took a while.
Yeah.
But so far, even Dark Glasses, it took even longer for that. From Argento. Did you ever get that?
I didn't. I always forget about that for some reason.
Come on. You need to get that.
Probably a dumpster fire anyway. Yeah, Texas. That's just the rule I have. If I'm gonna physical media, gotta have it first.
Yep. Physical media matters. It's gotta. We're at a pivotal point now. Not that anyone cares, but we are at a pivotal point.
Yep.
And we're gonna be talking a little bit about that next year too. So but yeah.
Another thing we're going to be doing next year is we're going to have a stream that's literally going to be physical media matters. Not just physical media matters, but physical media matters, like family matters, like matters of physical media. So the word matters is sort of twofold there, you know? And on these streams, we're going to have special guests, hopefully, that want to come on and talk about collecting in the past and the future, hopefully, and things that they love about collecting physical media, things that they miss about collecting physical media.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You know, just talk about formats in general. Talk about formats in general. So that's another thing we have on the horizon, because I think it needs to be talked about. You know, we can't lose physical media. We just can't. And
that's where it's heading.
I'll give you an example. You know how many times I put something on, like just the other day, what the hell did we watch? I watched Bullet Train again yesterday.
I gotta see that
with my wife and my son, because he got it for Christmas from my mom as one of his Blu-rays that he got, and he hadn't seen it yet. And we all sat down to eat. We're all eating and stuff like that, and he was eating like wings or something, so his hands were like smothered in whatever the hell he was eating. So I was like, don't worry about getting the disc, and I didn't feel like going downstairs to get mine. So I was like, I'll just put it on Netflix because it's on Netflix.
Is it really?
It's been on Netflix the whole time.
I didn't know that. Okay.
We got 2 minutes into it, and the thing froze up in Netflix with the whole 99%. It does this all the time. Now,
how about that?
I literally have the fastest internet you can possibly get, and none of the other streaming services have this issue. So I will say it's a Netflix thing. But my point is, if we didn't own that movie, we would not have been able to watch it because it kept freezing up and all this. And then
Prime has that problem too.
That doesn't include when you have the issue with things getting taken down from streaming services,
or
and things just not being available. Yep, or things being edited, exactly. So I understand the convenience 100%. I get it, because even if I own a movie, there are times when I just don't feel like getting up to get the disc, and I'll just be like, oh, it's streaming on Hulu, I'll put it on right.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean streaming should replace physical media, because this is the issues that you run into. So for anybody who says, oh, streaming is the future, yeah, streaming is the way, you're part of the problem. And I'm sorry to say it, but you are.
Yep.
So don't be like that, because you ruin it for the rest of us. Like, you may be
I'm not saying don't stream. Streaming has its point. It has its good point.
That's what I'm saying.
Just like you just said.
Yeah.
But
it goes hand in hand, though. But you still can't be in that mindset where, I don't need physical media because I can stream everything.
Exactly.
You can't. What happens when they decide, you know what? We're not going to do the rights for this now.
What happens when you buy? We'll get to all that. We'll get to all that. Yeah. There's a lot to be said, a lot that people actually don't really know about streaming and
Mhm.
buying stuff, and yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be very surprised.
Verge, I would say a ton because there are even some that I come across as I was going through this list of 2023 horror movies, trying to figure out what Jason and I should watch and do for our ranking. I'm finding all these movies I didn't even know existed from
Yeah.
2023. And
Yep.
then I'm looking to see if they have a physical release, and I'm talking movies that were maybe released in January, February of this year,
Yep.
and they still
You
don't
don't.
have they still don't have a physical release. So at this point, are they even gonna get one? I mean,
It's very sad.
it's crazy to me.
It is, and I did the same thing because I looked legitimately. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't take a lot of what these people say to heart, but I always like to look at top 30, what people think
Yeah,
are top 30
yeah.
lists,
Mhm.
and then I'll go and check to see how many of them have releases. And I will say less than half.
Well, here's another good
Less than
example.
half.
This is a movie, and this is from 2021, but you and I watched it together. The Blazing World still does not have a physical
Yes.
release,
Yep.
and I mean, you and I, we both loved it. You know,
Yeah, it's a great movie.
as our girl Carlson Young from Scream the
Yep.
TV series. It's a
Yep.
really good film, and guess what? No physical release,
Nope.
and it's like, are we ever gonna get one? Probably not. So
Yeah, wasn't that on Netflix too?
I don't know what that was on.
Because if it was on Netflix, that's probably why.
Um, yeah, Texas. I loved Bloodlines. Jason hasn't seen it yet. He's supposed to be
I
getting
haven't.
his copy tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
hopefully.
Tomorrow.
So we're gonna be watching that soon. So
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that.
I thought that was really
Got to
that
be
was
better than that dumpster fire part two.
oh, get out of here. It was Bloodlines. I think Bloodlines was a really well done prequel.
Yeah, I'm definitely eager to see it.
Hey, Danny.
Hey, Danny, what's up, man?
Um, but yeah, I do. I think a lot of movies are slipping through the cracks, and it's unfortunate.
Yep.
I, I don't know. I don't. I have no answer for it.
Just
Especially when
need people to start buying physical media again and complaining about not having it. And I don't know. I don't know if there is an answer at this point, but
it's just like anything else. It's people getting too comfortable and saying, "Yeah, oh, it's fine. Streaming is the future." I mean, I literally hear people say that. Like there are people on Facebook or social media or wherever, like, "Oh, you still collect not to me, but I see other conversations. Like, oh, like who still buys Blu-rays? Who still buys 4Ks? Who still everything's on streaming services now." It's like,
yeah, well, that's not true.
listen, it's fine for like, someone who's not really as into movies as we are. I get that, whatever. But like as collectors and as people who are passionate about film and seeing all these different movies, that is a problem.
Yeah,
You
a
know,
big one.
it is a problem. It's like they just don't see past. Okay, well, if I want to watch this movie, say someone recommends a movie to you, and it's an old '80s horror film that you haven't seen. What are the chances of you finding it on a streaming service? Maybe
Yeah,
you'll find it on, like, Tubi or something if you're lucky, but, like,
yeah,
for the most part, when are you gonna find this where are you gonna find this movie?
yeah.
And we're talking about obscure horror, whereas if we didn't have physical media, uh, you probably wouldn't be able to see the movie.
Oh wow, I never heard of that one. Not surprising because it probably doesn't have a release verge.
It's about a guy who's losing his hair. The Thinning.
It's the sequel to Thinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but that's a case in point there because of you saying that, I would, after we're done here, would probably check into where I could watch it or get it.
Mhm.
And you're gonna come up with a big fat goose egg. So it's a shame. It really is.
Yep.
The DVD or 4K of what? Texas?
Oh, probably, Puppet Master, Pet Sematary, Bloodlines,
Oh, I
probably.
got the DVD because uh the the Blu-ray was really expensive.
Yeah.
And I figured, I have the original on Blu-ray, I have the remake on Blu-ray, and I have the second one on DVD. So, I mean, it's fine for what it is. I mean, it was a considerable amount cheaper too. So, and I even said that to Joe. I said, "Did you notice that it was really expensive?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "That's why I got it on DVD."
Yeah.
Well,
I
that's what
got
I did.
I got it pretty cheap on DVD, so I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get that. It's fine."
But see, now I'm going to ask because this is what I always ask Joe: am I missing something by getting it on DVD? Because sometimes they only put stuff on Blu-ray,
You're
and
not.
I didn't.
I checked. I made sure.
Did you? Okay, so I'm good at that. Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing that's on the Blu-ray that's not on the DVD.
Oh, you mean like Night of the Demons, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's nothing. It was just literally just a preference of disc, and that's why it's just not worth the extra price for it.
Yeah.
It's
And
not.
boutique labels shitting all over their customers isn't going to be a good thing for physical media either. So yeah, but we'll get into all that.
Did you read Danny's comment?
Yeah, I'm reading it now. I have not watched that yet. I've watched mostly everything you sent me. Matter of fact, I wanted to say a special thank you for the entity because now it's going out of print.
Hey, just so you know, Danny, I actually just found the Untold Story recently at the thrift store.
Did
And
you?
I picked it up. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's the Untold Story, the one, the American version.
Oh no, I have the original. I think.
You have the Japanese one.
Yep.
Or the Chinese one or whatever. Because I have that one too, but Danny sent me the other one.
Oh, nice.
One that I think Severn put it out as well.
Nice.
But I gotta watch that. I gotta watch that.
Vinegar Syndrome released part 2 of the Japanese one recently.
I watched just about everything you've sent me except for I haven't watched. I wanted to be in a special mood to watch Atros because I've never seen it before, and I know that one's a little bit on the extreme side. So I wanted to watch that because I've been actually wanting to watch that for quite some time. I haven't watched the one with Jeff Daniels, I think. I haven't watched that one yet, and The Untold Story, and I think that's it. I watched all the rest of them.
So right now it's still the Untold Story.
It's still The Untold Story, but I got it upstairs. I saw it again the other day. But
here's a question I have for the chat. Anybody have any recommendations for Vinegar Syndrome releases? Because I have a gift card. I got a Visa card from my my wife's aunt for Christmas, and
yes,
it's like burning a hole. It's like burning a hole in my pocket. And
yeah,
I might just use it on Vinegar Syndrome on the website because I like ordering from them because they're only like an hour away from me, so I get stuff really fucking fast. For one thing.
How about Forgotten Gialli 1 through 5?
I was thinking, but I might go with quantity over quality, if that makes sense.
Or Homegrown Horror. You already have Moonstalker, though, don't you?
I have Moonstalker. I do, yeah.
You have Dead Girls?
I have a copy that I made years ago.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you might not want to because I didn't really care for Hanging Heart that much.
Well, that
yeah, I didn't like that one. Oh, I meant to ask you. You got Beyond the Door 3, right?
Yes.
Does yours have the slipcover?
No.
Okay. Somebody showed it the other day.
It sold out during that Black Friday sale.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it was Leon that showed it the other day, and with these new slipcovers, they have this Vinegar Syndrome seal. Now, something about a movie club or something?
That's for for subscribers and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I wasn't really sure what that was.
Yeah, there are certain slips too that only like the subscribers get, so it's
a
big thing. I don't tend to worry about that too much. Like if the slipcover is available, I'll get it. But
yeah, I know.
It's one extra thing for me to be OCD about.
Yes.
So there are times when I almost rather not. I'd rather just get you know what I mean? It's tough.
Fatal Games is out though. I can't wait. That doesn't come out until the end of February.
Fatal Games is already out.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, you can buy it on Vinegar Syndrome. You can't buy it from like Amazon yet.
Yeah, but just get it from Vinegar Syndrome. You get the slip.
No, I have an Amazon gift card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I gotta wait a little while.
Yeah.
Ooh, Django. There you go.
Danny, I was wondering about that movie. I've heard some crazy things about it.
What's that?
Assholes.
I never even heard of that.
Yeah.
Who put that out?
It's one of the Vinegar Syndrome partner labels.
Oh, you know, I have been looking at theirs every month because I get
Mhm.
an email about them, right? And
Yep.
I'm always looking to see if certain things are going to be released. And I like that they did the American Scream, even though it wasn't my favorite. I still liked it.
You need to
And
stop. You need to get
huh?
off the stream. I'm gonna kick you off the stream like I did Brad
I
back in
liked
the day.
it. It was fun.
That movie's awesome. It's so quirky
It
and different.
wasn't great. It was good. I got
Listen,
some of
listen,
their other.
you're doing exactly what we give other people crap for.
I liked
It's a
it.
very original movie. It's different.
Yes, it actually is. It is.
So, it's okay. It's fucking
It
people want
was fun.
originality.
It
People want
was fun.
originality. They have it
It was
there's
fun.
this original movie, and you're like, "Meh."
It was
Go
fun.
watch Laurie Strode fight Michael Myers again.
I know. It was fun. I'm trying to think of what else I got there, but they put out a bunch of good stuff. Like they put out Girlfriend from Hell. Culture Shock did.
Yeah, I have that on VHS.
Yeah. Um, they also put out a bunch of other good stuff, but now it seems like they're
Yeah,
putting out
yeah.
weird stuff, like stuff that doesn't have anything to do with horror.
Verge, all right, Verge, I have Shallow Grave on VHS, so I probably won't get that. Like, I'm trying to do a thing where I don't buy a ton of stuff that I already have. And it's been hard because I like upgrading things and stuff, but, like, if I have a way of watching it in a good quality version, chances are I'm not gonna upgrade unless I find something for, like, a good price. Um, I really like Shallow Grave, though. I do have it on VHS. Rye the Horror Guy, I love Mother's Day. I have it on VHS and DVD.
Yeah.
Probably won't get that. Thriller: A Cruel Picture, Texas Horror, I have, the, limited edition DVD. So it's like the extreme one too that has, like, the triple X version included.
Really?
So I do have Thriller: A Cruel
Wait a
Picture,
minute. Wait a minute.
one.
You have the triple X version. Who put that one out?
Whatever who was that? What was it? Was it Synapse that released the 2 different cuts?
Oh,
I don't know if it was Synapse, but it was one of those companies.
I think it was Vinegar Syndrome. Might have
No,
been.
I'm talking about the DVD.
Oh, oh yeah. I think you're right. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Vinegar Syndrome did put it out, but I'm saying I have the
Yeah, they
limited
also
edition
did
DVD.
the Beast from Space or something.
Yep.
They have two different cuts of that too. Synapse did a
Yeah.
triple X version and a
Yeah.
I think a R rated or something. Get what you like. What you look. I do. I think why I was disappointed with the American Scream is because I did it for a Christmas movie and it hardly had any Christmas in it. So I
Well,
picked
yeah.
I picked the wrong thing to do it for.
Exactly.
But I had seen it before that and I liked it.
Um, Blu-ray Irreversible. I got the DVD of that one. I'm not sure I need to
Me
see
too.
that in high def. Irreversible.
Well, wait a minute. We did that for
Controversial
Controversial
View.
View, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah. I got the DVD of that somewhere too.
Scrapbook's a crazy movie, Danny. That is a crazy one. I have the
I need to
out of
find them.
out of print DVD from back in the day. That one was extremely rare for a while. So yeah, it's
Okay, the yellow one is the X-rated version.
I might pick up Freeway 2 from Vinegar Syndrome as one of them.
Is that any good?
I've never seen it because the DVD was always so damn expensive.
Yeah, the Confessions of a Trick Baby.
Yeah, it sounds pretty wild. So I think that's one that I'm gonna get. I have the gift card's a good amount, so I can get probably quite a bit with it.
The first
So
one I think is underrated. I still think it's underrated.
yeah, I like the first one. So I already have the first. I mean, I have the first one on. I have a few different editions on DVD. Um, so I'll probably get Freeway 2 as one of the things from Vinegar Syndrome.
You have a
I'm
lot
really
of good stuff.
I'm really tempted to get Existence. But
Okay, I was going to tell you this about that. Leon got it.
Mhm.
He didn't get it from Vinegar
Vinegar
Syndrome.
Syndrome.
He got it from
Diabolic?
no, there's another one, but it's the whole thing,
Yeah.
right? It looks like a really nice set,
No,
but
I know.
I'm not that impressed. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the movie. Don't get me wrong. I like the movie.
I
Before you
might
yell at me,
I might get the standard edition when it's released.
Why?
Of Existence?
Yeah.
Because
I
I
mean,
only have it on
if
the
you were going to
multi-pack.
do it, why not just get the whole thing?
Because it's gonna be much it's much cheaper to get the standard.
Oh, I thought it was still 4K.
No, but it is, but I'm saying I'm not should I pay an extra $20 for, like, the extra case and all that? No.
Yeah, I guess not.
Do you know what I mean? I mean,
Got a big book with it though.
we're talking a whole but am I really gonna read it? You know, I'm gonna look through it once. I mean,
I don't.
it's one of those things where it's like 45 bucks for the freaking limited edition one, or I can pay, like,
Rabbit Grannies.
you know?
Do you have Rabbit Grannies?
I have Rabbit Granny's the, Trauma DVD.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Because that's actually really good. That surprised me. I didn't think I was going to like that one, but I
Oh, it's
really
fun.
actually really
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
I
Yeah.
have the Trauma DVD of that one, so I'm good with that.
Oh, Wendigo. Do you have that one?
Wendigo.
Yeah. Frostbiter. I'm sorry.
Oh, Frostbiter I have, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that one. I got to get that one.
I got Frostbiter. I got the VHS of Frostbiter.
Luther the Geek. I think that might be out of print.
I have the Trauma DVD of that one too, because we did
Yeah,
that
we
for
did that
Fangoria.
for Fangoria. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I love Luther the Geek. It's so much fun. Wasn't that your first time watching it when we saw it?
No, Luther, no.
Okay. There was a couple of them that was the first time.
Yeah, no, I had
For me
seen that.
too. Like I had never seen
Wisdom of Crocodiles was a first.
700.
Yeah. Weird, right?
I have no idea why.
Yeah.
I see it on there all the time. It's now up to like 690 something. So it's almost
One
700.
of those weird things. I gotta say, speaking of
Hell,
the day the clown cried is over 1,000 views already.
really?
Yeah.
Wow. Good.
I'm
glad
glad
people
because I
knew
mean
about
that was a big one. We really
it.
were
Yeah.
excited. I mean, we've been excited for this all year.
Yeah. Yeah. 1,000? Good
Yeah,
Lord.
over
That's
1,000.
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I'm glad people know a little bit more about it because maybe
Yeah.
when the contract runs out, maybe they'll actually do something with it.
Hopefully.
Does he have any family that's living?
I think so.
Ah, that's not good.
I don't think it I don't
I
yeah, I
mean to
mean
say it like that, but
yeah, no, I know.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Windchill's a good one. Good movie. I've wanted to watch it.
Windchill is really good. Who put that out? Oh, Windchill's good. Yeah,
Yeah, I have the DVD Windchill.
yeah, me too.
I'm gonna do it for 12 days in 1 year. I always have it on my list and then I drop it for some reason.
That was the very first movie I did for 12 days.
Yeah. Maybe next
Very first movie.
year. Brad
Just by
wanted to
accident.
watch that film. Oh, Day the Clown Cried, Brad? That's crazy. It's pretty wild experience,
Yeah,
to say the least.
it stays with you. That's for sure. It's not a pleasant film.
I think our next we got a couple more big controversial views coming out, like some
Yeah,
obscure ones, and
next year.
I'm excited for those too.
Yeah.
Yes, Danny, I agree. Elves needs a release. Vinegar Syndrome would be
Oh,
perfect for that.
I've been wanting to see that for so long. I don't know why that hasn't gotten released because every year someone does it for Christmas. Every year someone
I
does it
did
for
it a few years back for 12 days. Yeah.
I've never seen it. I'm dying to see it.
I mean, I know, and you would love it. I mean, it's like set in a department store at Christmas time. Come on.
Yeah, I would love that one.
Texas Horror, I love it. Don't open until Christmas. I have both DVD releases and I have the VHS of that one. That's
Did you
why
get the Mondo Macabre?
is that the DVD? Yeah.
The one with the red case?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Because
have
it
that.
also came out on that
I have both DVD releases
um
because the other one has a.
yeah. It
What
came
is
out
it?
on a multi-pack too, but it wasn't supposed to.
That's right. I have it on the multi-pack as well. So I have it.
Yeah, out
I
of the
I have at least
what
4 or
was the
5
clown one that they brought out? Out
I-
of the
out of the dark.
yes. It's on that one, and it wasn't supposed to be.
Yep. So what else? See. I want
Iced.
Vinegar Syndrome to release Elves, and I want them to release
Iced.
Boxing Helena.
Iced.
Ice would be good too. But
Gotta
Boxing
have
Helena, I want because I want all the cuts in one release.
Yeah. Speaking of Rampage, not the Kaiju one or non-Kaiju,
William
whatever you
Friedkin.
call it. The William Friedkin one is actually finally getting a release from Kino Lorber. Joe told me that. I was all excited, and I kind of don't care what we get now.
Did you look it up and see it?
No.
Oh, because I was only joking. No, I'm kidding. It really is coming out. It's coming out, and they are releasing the alternate ending on the release. I wish they were
Yeah, but there's more to it than
I know.
the
Everybody's telling them that in the comments. Kino was commenting back. People were commenting saying, "Make sure you release both versions." And Kino said, "Oh, it's only an alternate ending."
That's not
And
true.
people are commenting back saying, "No, there are extra scenes, and the movie plays out differently.
Yes,
You need to release." So hopefully they take what people said and they get it fixed. They get it figured out.
Ooh, I don't see that happening.
Neither do I. But guess what?
No, they've already released. We have it.
We have it.
And you know where that extra one's going to go?
Right in there.
Right in there with the Blu-ray.
Yep. I mean, I even have that friggin' Japanese laser disc that has that copy on there. Can't watch it.
And you can't play it.
Yeah. But it's still cool to have.
Just like I have two. I don't even know if I told you this. I found another Terror in the Isles.
Yeah, you told me the
CD video disc. Yeah. I have it. Can't play it. I have
Brad,
it.
yeah, Babes in Toyland. I've had that one on VHS, so it's cool that they finally released that one.
You know how many times I've seen that on VHS and never picked it up?
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Danny, Monster in the Closet. I actually mentioned that one to Jason not long ago. We were talking about trauma movies.
Yeah.
Monster in the Closet would be a good one for them to release.
That's available somewhere.
That would be a good one.
It's still available through Trauma.
Sure. Yeah, probably. They should do Getting
Cameron's Closet. Speaking of closets,
Getting Lucky would be a good one for them to do. They did that one for St. Patrick's Day last year.
Yeah, that would be cool. There's all kinds of movies now, and what kind of pisses me off is that when one goes out of print somewhere, they put it out on a different label, and they try to.
Happening a lot more, I feel, lately.
Yeah,
you mean you have like multiple companies.
They're polishing a turd and calling it new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not that the movie's a turd, but it's like, I already have this, so why are you giving it to me again?
The worst is when a company like Scream Factory will release a movie and then they release it again with different cuts. And then they release it again with different cuts, and they put it on a disc that you can't even watch.
Yep.
It's like pretty ridiculous.
Bastards.
I mean, how many times do they want you to buy? I mean, I guess I get it to an extent.
No, I don't get it.
Well, nope. I get it because there are people dumb enough to keep buying them, but you're also isolating these other parts of your fan base, your buyers, who are just going to say, "Screw you guys, I'm done buying from you because you keep doing this."
Like you.
Pretty much.
And then you got assholes like me who like Funeral Home that want a good copy of that finally after all these years. It's like if they released Silent Night, Bloody Night, completely pristine. I'd be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of, I'm ready to watch that again.
I can't believe like Christmas is already over. Like I feel like we were just watching that movie.
I know.
And like, I mean, that's our annual tradition. We watch Silent Night, Bloody Night.
Yep.
And then I feel like it's like, okay, now it's really close to Christmas because we usually watch it on the 23rd.
Yep.
And
then it's over.
I feel like we were just watching it. Like I feel like we were just watching it. It's been almost a week.
I got the damn thing still down here. I haven't taken it upstairs yet.
It's just so frustrating. Like time flies.
Oh, but they'll continue to play Christmas commercials now, even though it's not Christmas anymore. Yeah. That's what gets on my nerves. Still seeing I like the M&M's guys, don't get me wrong, but still seeing that commercial is like, come on, guys. Christmas is over. let's get moving.
Um, yeah. Anyway, so guys in the chat, any more questions about Franchise Frenzy? Let's get all that covered before because again, it's coming up
Yes.
quickly.
Yes. Any questions? Questions, comments, suggested franchises that we're probably not going to do anyway, but I'm still curious.
I haven't yet, Brad. I do want to, but I haven't watched it yet.
What?
A Christmas Story Christmas, the new Christmas Story movie that came out last year.
I don't remember if I did or not. It seems like I did, but I don't remember.
You didn't watch it. You were going to at your daughter's, then you didn't.
Then I didn't watch it.
Yeah, because we watched something else instead while you were there.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Something I couldn't see very well.
Texas, like I said, right now, my next focus for physical media
Thanksgiving.
is Thanksgiving, and then whatever I get with this gift card.
There's a lot of good stuff, man. Vinegar Syndrome has a lot of really good stuff that, I mean, like you got Beyond the Door 3, right?
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like that movie. A lot of people shit on it. That should probably be a positive spin. But I like that one. But they have a lot of stuff like that they release, like The Vineyard. Do you have that one?
I have the Anchor Bay of the Vineyard. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Really?
I do.
Wow. There was nothing that Anchor Bay didn't put out.
Yeah, Anchor Bay's.
They were the shit, man.
Makes it better than the original. Interesting.
What's that?
Christmas Story Christmas. Danny
Dude,
and
who said that?
Brad. But he's not a huge fan of. He's not a huge fan of the original though.
Right,
But,
right. I am.
I mean,
Purposes.
I love it. Danny said thoughts on Hatchet and Laid to Rest. Well, Hatchet is one of our franchises for Franchise Frenzy.
Yes.
Obviously, Laid to Rest isn't because there's not 4.
Yeah, unfortunately. There's supposed to be another one.
I love Hatchet.
Yeah.
The director of Laid to Rest, he died.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be another one, but it never materialized. And truthfully, to be honest, the second one wasn't that good. I mean, it was okay. Sure. I didn't think the second one was as good as the first one. Even close.
That's the one with Danielle Harris, right? Who's in the second
and
one?
The guy from 90210. Green.
Brian Austin Green, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It was all right.
Yeah.
Then again, I'm doing what everyone else does, so. Fucker.
Franchise Frenzy questions, guys.
Yep. Let's get it.
Will anybody in the chat actually be participating in Franchise Frenzy? There's a question.
Yes. I'm not in the chat.
If you're in the chat and you are participating and you're not asking questions, then you better damn well get everything perfect when you do Franchise Frenzy, because now is the time to ask the question.
And Joe Breaking Bad on everybody. Motherfucker. Better do the shit right.
No, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, we put so much work into this.
Yeah.
I mean, so much thought, so much time, so much energy has gone into Franchise Frenzy. This is like, this is like our big event of next year, and I just really want people to take it seriously and have fun with it, but do it right. I mean, I don't want people to skip. Oh, I'm going to skip this movie because I don't like it. That's not the point. You have to do it. Like,
we had to watch.
I can see it now. I mean, I can just see it like because they want like a certain franchise to win or something like that. No, like be honest about things, because there are things that aren't going the way that I thought they were going to go with Franchise Frenzy.
That's true.
But you just got to be honest about it,
No, we actually we watched Return of the Boogeyman. So if we can sit through that.
Yeah, Danny, 4 films or more and it has to be a horror franchise.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, people need to do it. I would say at least 10 to 15 to franchises for this to really work, because you need movies to compare them to.
Yeah.
Like I said, Jason and I, we're doing 60 franchises. You guys don't have to do nearly that.
Ooh,
You
no,
know,
no.
10, 15, 20 franchises is fine. And again, that can include mainstream horror franchises. It can include franchises that aren't as popular, but you just have to do the movies in release order. So, you know, again, a part 1, sometimes a part 5 is actually a part 6 because there was a movie that came out before it, you know, like Subspecies and stuff like that.
Yep.
As long as you know how the franchise goes, you know, yeah.
Yeah, because they're all to be done in chronological order by date of release.
I
Yeah.
am gatekeeping this, Brad, because if I'm gonna come up with this idea, people are gonna freaking do it right.
Yeah. Oh, now here's a franchise that we toyed around with doing several times, but
Mhm.
we're not doing.
What's that?
Resident Evil.
Yes.
We were going to do it. We had it on the list 3 or 4 times, but ultimately we settled on the 60 that we have,
I believe
and
your decision was, "Fuck that."
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like it. I like those movies. I think they're fun popcorn flicks.
I'm glad
But
I'm happy with the ones we have.
me
Yeah.
too.
I wouldn't
Me
wanna
too.
replace anything with that one.
And plus, I didn't have the new one anyway, which could have been redeemed. But
Yeah.
I told Joe we can still do Resident Evil and just do 61 like Maris and
Yeah.
Maris and fuck. Yeah, help me out, Joe.
Yeah, Texas Horror, exactly. Wolf Creek, it would be cool if they did more.
Yeah, that would be
I
really
could see
cool.
that becoming a franchise or Sinister can that would be one that I could see becoming a franchise.
I
Um,
could see it becoming a franchise, but after what the fans did to part two, I don't think that's gonna happen.
so yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it
I
is.
liked it. I like part two.
Even still, I mean, for us to come up with 60 the way that we did, and 60 that we literally own all of the movies
Yeah.
of those 60, it's not an
We had to
easy feat.
scramble a little.
It's not an but right now we're there. I mean,
Yep.
we are there, you know?
I'm one movie
So,
away, 2 movies away.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you'll be by the end of next week, you won't be 2 movies away.
Right.
So, it's gonna be fun for sure. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh
it's already
yeah.
been a blast watching them and getting prepared for this. I'm really, really curious to see how people rank these movies. And I
You know what
and
blew
I
me away the other night is your
what's that?
reaction to one that you're sending me, the first one. That blew me away because I knew you weren't a big fan of it.
Oh, yeah,
You're sending me part two.
yeah. And that's just it. Sometimes you watch things and it's like, damn, it just hits differently.
Yep.
Like that's a movie I can put that on right now and watch it again.
Yeah. It was good.
So yeah,
Oh,
and
I
that's
mean, everybody knows what we're doing. So it was Fright Night. It's Fright Night. I don't know
yeah.
why, but yeah,
But
always liked the movie.
that's the thing. It's sometimes movies just hit differently, and
You do.
that's why I want people to take it seriously and not just think, I think I know where this goes. If you're unsure, watch it again. If it's something you absolutely know, like if it's like I said, if you've seen Scream 30 times this year, you know what I mean? You don't need to watch it again. But if it's something that you're kind of on the fence, like, I think it might be here, but not sure. Give it a watch. That's the whole point of this. Why are we going to own all these movies if we're not going to watch them?
There were some of them that
You know,
I wanted to watch again that you didn't think we needed to watch again, or some that you wanted to watch
vice
again that I
versa.
didn't think. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
That's just the thing. And I can honestly say, in part ones, we have watched every single one of them within the last year.
Yeah, probably less than many in most cases. Yeah.
Well, many, yeah, but I was just thinking of one in particular.
Yeah.
But still watched it. So it's a lot of movies.
Yep.
Good Lord.
But again, I mean,
Hey,
we're doing this once. This is a one-time thing. We're not doing this again. So if someone, like I said, if someone's going to participate, then go into it. Full swing. Pick as many franchises as you can possibly handle because we're not doing this again. Like, let's make it worth it.
hey, you know one that was missing that's missing one film in order to be a franchise?
What?
The Shining.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, I mean, even it could use one more film to be a franchise.
That's a tough one though, because you got part one and part two, and then that one. So, would you consider part one and part two to be one film?
Are you talking about
No.
chapter 1 and chapter 2 or the
Yeah.
original?
Well, the original is one film. Chapter one and chapter two is still one
What
film.
they're definitely two separate though because they came out different years.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right about that. But they're all part of the same story. Like they're part two parts of the same one that part one is. I mean that the first one is. You get what I'm saying? But they are
I
different
I
movies.
do. But there's exactly. It's just separating the book into two different movies.
Yeah.
Yep, Texas Horror, that's another one. Maniac Cop, that's a trilogy. That would have been another
Yeah,
one we could
that would
put
have
in.
been so cool to do.
But maybe that's one we can do for trilogies if we ever do that.
Yeah.
So
Joyride. I hadn't seen that in so long that I really did enjoy that. I really did.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And I was wondering because that was one of the ones that I upgraded when I probably shouldn't have. And I got the Blu-ray of it at a thrift store a long time ago, and it just kind of sat.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched it, and then I called you because I wasn't sure if it had that extra part on there because it had been so long since we had talked about it.
Yep.
That's Brad's girl, Lily
Sobieski.
Sobieski. Yeah. Lily.
Apparently she was frigid on the set of Joyride.
Quite. Yes. Yeah, this is going to be fun.
Oh, for sure. So yeah, guys, stick around for maybe another 15 minutes or so and answer any questions you got.
Yep.
So if you got them, ask them. I mean, it could be about specific franchises too. Like, oh, how many movies does this franchise have? Which movie comes first? Like, do we include this? All those types of questions. Anything like that. About how to score the movies, how to rank the movie, whatever the question might be.
Now's the time.
Danny, yeah, the fifth movie premiered this year in September. The remake, but it doesn't have a physical release yet. Sometime next year it should be coming out.
Yeah, I got them down here too still.
Yep, Texas, From Dusk Till Dawn. That needs one more.
It's hard to believe so many movies are just trilogies.
Mm.
And so many were trilogies until they came out with a remake.
Yeah. Look at Pet Sematary. It just came out with the fourth one. So.
Yep.
Then you look at a franchise like Carrie, which has the original, a remake, and then a remake, and then a remake. Original, a sequel, a remake, and a remake.
Yeah.
So you literally have, it's like 3 of the movies in that 4-movie franchise are the same story.
Yep.
And then you have the one sequel.
Which is awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's interesting though to include these franchises because we have different franchises like that. Like some of them have a prequel, some of them have a remake, some of them are just all sequels.
The director's cut of the movie that you got the other night. What are we doing with that? Are we just going with the
one we watched yesterday?
Yes.
I think we go with the one we watched because from skimming through the director's cut, I think we're going to prefer the one we watched.
No doubt.
It's missing a lot of the good stuff.
No doubt.
Yeah. So, and again, and that was all right. So for anybody who missed this part, that was one of the rules too, not rule, but one of the things about Franchise Frenzy. We're not including different cuts of the film. So like you can only choose one cut of each film, but go with the cut that you like the most to give that movie the best opportunity to rank higher. So for example, if you prefer Halloween 6 producer's cut over the theatrical cut, then use the producer's cut. But that means you can't use the theatrical cut as well. That movie doesn't count now because you're only using one version of part 6. Just use the cut of the film that you prefer.
Use your best ammunition.
Exactly. So, like, there's been plenty of movies that we've watched that there's different cuts, and we're only watching the one that we think is gonna rank higher.
Right.
Danny, your Christine remake, came out last year. It's called Halloween Ends.
You bastard.
Killer hoverboard named Christine, yep.
Why is it in light blue?
If they do a Christine remake now, it's gonna have to be like an electric car.
It's gonna be. Oh, I almost choked myself there.
It's gonna. It's that's how they're gonna destroy it. They're gonna shut.
Christine in the horror show.
They're just gonna shut down the grid at the end of the movie to shut down the car. It's not gonna be able to charge itself. It dies. The end.
Shocker meets Christine.
Yep.
Oh man. Crazy world we live in.
Yep.
Do you have an electric car, Joe?
You know who you're asking, right?
I just thought I'd ask. I didn't know if it was a hybrid or what it was. I didn't figure it was, but I just figured I'd ask it.
No.
Yeah. So who are we picking to win the Super Bowl this year? I'm going with Flacco Fever.
Joe Flacco, baby. Let's go Browns.
Joe Flacco wins it all. Second time.
Literally comes off the couch at 38 years old. He's already breaking records with the freaking his last few games. It's ridiculous.
Look at metrosexual Frankenstein.
Dude's on fire. Did you see him sleeping on the fucking sidelines during the Jets game?
No, he wasn't, was he?
He was fading off. They showed him sitting on the bench. His eyes were closed. He was like drifting off to sleep. Everybody was saying they'll give the guy a break. The guy has like a bunch of kids. It's Christmas week. The guy's probably freaking exhausted. He has to come out. He has to come out, kick the Jets' asses, and then go sit on the bench and take a little nap while he can. Yeah, Danny, I will say I would love to see the Lions in the Super Bowl too.
Yeah, I would.
The Lions are playing really well. I'm really happy for them. I would love to see a Browns Lions Super Bowl. How cool would that be?
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
That would be so cool because then at least you know one of them is finally getting the win.
Yeah. And if you know what the worst part about it is I would take Goff back, put him back in the Rams to give them the Super Bowl if Stafford could go back to the Lions and win the Super Bowl with them.
Hey, well, at least Stafford won with the Rams.
I know he did, but I mean, he put so much into the Lions when he was there. I mean, they were so bad with him. He was the only bright spot. Well, one of the only bright spots.
Yeah.
I'm glad he finally won some, though. I'm with you on that one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Texas,
guys like Dan Marino that never won anything.
Texas, I figured you would be a Cowboys fan, and that no disrespect. I just feel like the Cowboys will probably blow it again in the playoffs.
I don't know, man. It seems like it depending on what team you're going to get.
There are teams that just have a tendency of doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, again,
Ravens are one of them.
I was going to say, no disrespect to you. Ravens are one of them.
They are. I'll be the first one to say
they get to the playoffs every year, but they just can't get to that next step.
Yep.
And it's not. I have nothing against either of those teams. Obviously,
hey, they're playing up now too, and it's going to be harder.
These teams are all playing well. There are just some teams that just come that close, and it's like, ooh, the Bengals were like that for a lot of years. The Bengals would make it to the playoffs and then blow it.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, this year they might not even make it to the playoffs. So
that's incredible. Isn't it?
I mean, the Browns clinched last night when they beat the Jets. The Browns are in the playoffs.
Yep.
The Browns can still win
the division.
Not just the division. The Browns can be the number 1 seed.
Yeah, they can.
I read it earlier today. If the Ravens lose out and the Browns win out, and
they can't.
They can't. I read it. an hour before we came on.
For us to lose, the Dolphins have to win, and the Dolphins will have a better record than them.
Doesn't matter if the Dolphins lose to the Bills. The Browns can be the number 1 seed. It was all listed out earlier. I read it.
Yeah. Huh.
It's the only way the Browns can do it. They need the Ravens to lose out the Browns to win out, and then the Dolphins to lose the last game, and the Browns can be the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Well, we split this year. I can't remember what the score differential was.
Wild.
Well, it goes by that.
Yep.
If it comes down to it,
Mm-hmm.
because we split, and I know we only lost to them by a couple points, to like 2 or 3 points.
You lost to the
I
Browns?
remember, yeah, we lost to the Browns because remember Deshaun Watson?
Yeah.
He was limping around. He left after that game, didn't come back, bastard. So, yeah, we beat him earlier in the season. And I don't remember how much we won by, though.
Realistically, right now, with the way the playoff picture is, with the Ravens as the 1, the Browns as the 5, and the way that the teams would be right now, the games,
Yeah.
the likelihood of the Ravens facing the Browns in the playoffs is very strong. That would be interesting.
Well, they got to follow that script, Joe.
Exactly. It's all coming to play. Flacco
Yeah.
beats the Jets last night. Think about this. He beat the Jets, which was his team. He beat the Jets to clinch the playoffs last night. So wouldn't it be something
Possibly play against us?
Wouldn't it be something if he beats the Ravens to make it into the Super Bowl?
That would be something. Look, I always said
Joe Flacco revenge tour.
Yeah. I always said this, and I said this to Brad as well. He's got a really good arm, and when he's on, he's on. And I remember when I said that to him when they got Flacco on the Broncos. When he's on, he's on. But there's a lot of times when he's off, it's really, really bad.
Yep.
So he hasn't had a game like that yet. Mm-hmm. Just wait. He's allowed to have one against the Bengals like that.
Here's the thing. I think what is in his favor right now. He literally, and like people say it, and it's not even like a joke. Like
nothing to lose.
He came off the couch. He's got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
He wasn't he had not a single practice rep. Nothing. He came in with no expectations for him. Absolutely nothing. Dude came off his couch and just said, "Screw it. I'm just gonna keep throwing this ball and hope for the best," and it is working.
I could not believe when they said that they were going to get him. I'm like, wait a minute. What happened to did their second string get hurt too, Joe?
He got hurt too, yeah. He's out.
Oh, Jesus. Wow.
But like I said, right now, I mean, if Flacco stays healthy, he's going to be their guy right now through the play.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
You got to ride this wave. And honestly, he's got the experience. Why not? He's been to the playoffs.
He's got the experience. Unfortunately, what he doesn't have is he doesn't have the defense, which won him the Super Bowl before. That's what he doesn't have. So we'll see what happens. He's doing really well, and I wish him the best. I really do. I mean, he was good for us for a lot of years. So I just didn't want to see him come back and kick our ass. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's the storyline. I mean, look.
I know. It's the script.
Yeah, Brad, I don't know what's going on over there in Denver. Now all of a sudden they're gonna not only did they bench Russ, now they're gonna get rid of Russ.
And the Patriots are gonna get him.
Yeah. That huge contract. I just crazy.
Like, what the hell's going on? First they bench Mac. And that you gotta be shitting me. If I was Coach Belichick, I would pack my fucking bags and just leave. Not even tell anybody I'm going. Be like, see you guys later. It's been fun.
Wild.
That's just crazy.
I cannot wait to see what happens in this draft. I've never been more excited for a draft.
Something happened I read today with the Raiders. They did a trade with you guys and then they gave it back. What was that all about?
I didn't see that. I don't know.
It was a draft pick. Something having to do with a draft pick. I saw it today on the Motor Hub, the news thing. Same thing I saw with the Russell Wilson going to the Patriots.
The Patriots are always the favorite for every time a player gets cut, though. "Oh, favorite landing spot, Patriots, favorite landing spot." Like, remember, it was the same thing with Lamar in the offseason, remember? I kept showing you,
Yeah,
like,
I remember that. I
no
do.
matter who it is, it's, "Oh, yeah, Patriots are gonna take this." No, they're not.
He better do something this year. Lamar better. He better. He's making a lot of money, so he better show something.
I mean, even that, like I said, whether it's your team or not, it's kind of convenient how all of a sudden now it's like, "Oh, yeah, now look, he's proving all the haters wrong, people didn't want him."
Well, see,
Well, that
here's
that
the
worked
thing.
that worked
Here's the
out
thing.
well.
Well, yeah, but the last 2 years, he missed the last half of both seasons. So I never in my wildest dreams thought that they would give him all that money.
Yep.
And I remember discussing it with you and Brad several times that why would they give him that kind of money? His shelf life is going down every year.
Yeah,
They did it anyway.
that's the thing with him. I literally cringe whenever he runs just because he's all it's gonna take is that one hit.
Yep.
And he runs differently than other quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like, he's only great until he's not great anymore.
He's
Like,
willy nilly.
yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't slide like other quarterbacks slide.
No, he takes a beating.
It's only a matter of time.
Yep. At least, I mean, I don't like Josh Allen. Say what you want, but well, no, he takes a beating too. Well, Mahomes, he slides a
Yep.
lot. So, at least he's smart enough to,
Yeah, it
not
is,
take the
Dave.
beating all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's going to be pretty crazy this year. I know that. The playoffs.
Yep. Yeah, John, sports talk with the Horror Man and Horrific Nightmares.
Yep. And don't forget, well, John's team is the Eagles.
So he doesn't watch sports nowadays.
Yeah. Sports entertainment.
Yep, unfortunately.
Gotta follow that script. The only thing is they don't give us an advanced copy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Texas says Mahomes is a crybaby.
He is a crybaby. Oh man.
What happened to the Chiefs, man? It's like Taylor Swift must have some kind of
She
curse
she
on her
came
or
in and
something.
put that curse on him.
I love the
I'm telling you, he has looked like shit
there
ever
was an
since.
there was an image of Travis Kelce and they zoomed in. He had like a hickey on his neck, and it said Taylor Swift sucked the talent right out of him. I mean, what's going on? He's dropping passes and everything now. It's just
I know he's
oh,
acting. When he got, remember we were watching it that day. He got
when he got leveled.
got a little bitty push and he
Yeah.
fucking freaked out. And they didn't even call it. I'm like, you dumb asshole.
Yeah.
He just looks like an idiot, an absolute idiot. But hey, a bunch of girls are watching football now. Go figure.
It is funny, like I saw this meme in there the other day, and it was like this picture of like Tom Brady, like with this smile on his face. Obviously, not because of what the meme said, just some random picture of Tom Brady. And then there was also
Yeah.
a picture of Pat Mahomes, and it said, "This is why you don't label a quarterback the GOAT after only 5 seasons." Because last season, what was everybody saying? Oh, Mahomes is going to be better than Brady for sure. He's the new GOAT and all this. And then now he looks pretty average this season, doesn't he? So, I mean, and it's just, you can say the
They
same
don't
thing
look
about
too good, that's for sure.
you can say the same thing about Kelsey, like, "Oh, Kelsey's gonna beat Gronk as the greatest tight end ever," and it's like, "Well, what's happening?" They're like something's happening to these guys.
Yeah, they just don't look right. It just even I said to you this weekend when they were playing
Yeah.
the Raiders, it just they don't look right.
Yep. Exactly, John. Jessica Simpson cursed Dallas with, Tony Romo first.
See, see,
Yeah.
Daisy Duke.
Yeah, she dropped a Daisy Duke right on the team.
Yeah. Dropped a Daisy Deuce right on the team.
Oh, jeez.
It's so funny though.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting playoffs this year. I think. I just still that the division that the teams don't have a winning record. I mean, I guess we get that every year to a certain extent, but oh man, I think it's the Falcons division
Yeah, probably.
where they're like 7-8.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Man.
cut this, sorry. Not working very well.
Oh boy. Yeah.
All right. Guys, any other questions about Franchise Frenzy before we wrap up?
Or the Super Bowl. One of the other. Which way do they go now? I see all kinds of different people posting stuff about her. It's great.
You sure did, Texas.
Who gets the ball?
I missed it, John. I didn't see that you were live. I would have came on.
Yeah. The Bucks are winning the division.
Yeah, they are right now. Actually, Baker
Mayfield.
Well. Yep.
Baker fever. Baker and Flacco in the Super Bowl.
I know. They said there's mutual interest between the two of re-signing, so I think they should. I think he should be there. He can definitely do it for them right now. So.
Who, Baker?
Yeah, he's playing well in Tampa.
I think he's a good quarterback. I said, I told you before, I take him.
I mean, I think he got kind of screwed on the Browns. Like, if you watch him play, he would throw the ball right in their hands. They would drop the pass. It's not his fault. You know how many drop passes they had?
They went from a 1-16 team to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And when they played against the Kansas City Chiefs, you know how I feel about that game.
Yeah.
They won that game.
Yeah, they should have.
Yeah, they won that game.
Mm-hmm.
So they should have been in the AFC Championship game. But no, that's not how the NFL script works.
Mm-hmm.
So
they had to wait until Flacco was there to do it.
I'm surprised they haven't gotten rid of him yet. They're famous at shooting themselves in the foot.
Well, yeah, they signed Deshaun Watson to that huge contract, and then now what?
Yeah, he's missed more than he's played.
Wild.
All right. Any more questions about Franchise Frenzy?
And if you think of any, you could always comment on one of my videos and ask.
Or comment on the live stream. I'll be checking it. Joel will be checking it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
Well, thank you for joining us, guys.
Yeah, man. Been fun.
Yeah. Yeah, Texas. We mentioned some things earlier. Some things we'll be doing in the new year.
Yeah.
So got a lot of good stuff planned for sure.
Yeah, we do.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And
see you guys later. Thank you.